yesterday. I'm looking. Some folks who were here yesterday who were here for paneling, and from Rhode Island, and some from Boston and Virginia Beach. If you're here, stand up, because I can't put my eyes on you. I think you said some of you were going to be here. No? Oh, okay. All right. My bad. So, today, as has been our custom for many years, 16 years now, when the practitioner, has come to fulfilling 1 year of service as a licensed professional practitioner here at the Center of Peace, we invite them to bring the message forward on one of our Sundays. And so today is the day for Layla Dunbar Keys. And so if you don't know Layla, Layla has a great big heart, and she is a professional teacher, a professor by trade. That's what she does. She teaches and she prays, and no wonder she's a practitioner. And so, because she has a big heart, I see Layla as always giving, and so today we get to receive Layla. So join me in welcoming Layla.
Thank you, Reverend Twana. Going to make me cry before I even start. Thank you, Jayola. That was beautiful. The Rose is absolutely one of my fave songs, and that made me think about your play a few years ago when we sang that song, I Write a Song, together. So thank you for that. That was very apropos. I could not have chosen two better songs, so thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, everyone who came out specifically to support me today. I certainly appreciate that. It's an honor to be speaking with you. As many of you know, we undergo an intensive 4 years of studying to get to the place where we can share our journey as practitioners. Zulma, my spirit sister, and I are our beloved Reverend Sheila's last students and the first practitioners under Reverend Twana's guidance. The influence of Reverend Sheila is and was extraordinary. When asked if I missed her, the answer certainly was yes, of course. However, I feel as if she sits by my side every day. Always here, always surrounding all of us. Her words and expressions have become mine. I ask myself often, what would Reverend Sheila do or say? And Zulma and I have joked about getting rubber wristbands with the initials WWRSS. That might work. This year, our message has focused on trust. More specifically, the theme for the month of July has been Trust the Action. Trust the action. Yet, trust is an action. See, if I trust someone, I am engaged in an act of faith. And we trust because we believe that what we are experiencing is, in fact, the truth. And what exactly is the truth? Dictionary.com defines truth as a verified or indisputable fact, proposition, principle, or the like. A verified or indisputable fact, proposition, principle, or the like. Well, at one time in history, science believed that the earth was flat. At that time, this was an indisputable fact. until it wasn't. So much of scientific knowledge is a set of theories, guesstimates, hypotheses. We test these theories with the tools and resources that are available to us at the moment. These tools and resources shape and inform our understanding. But when we get more advanced tools and resources, our understanding, which is our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs, change. When we get more advanced tools and resources, our understanding, our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs change. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that consistency is the hobgoblin of idle minds. The hobgoblin of idle minds. I believe that what Emerson was attempting to convey is that when we get access to new tools and new resources, our understanding, our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs change. When our understanding changes, it may look to others as if we are inconsistent, but in fact, we are learning, growing, expanding, improving, increasing, developing, shifting, stretching, strengthening, progressing, enhancing, enriching, evolving, transforming, etc., 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 and so on. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." Here, we can translate the word God into law. So in other words, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the law. See, the law, or the subconscious mind, is consistent. It does not change. It accepts a thought and produces a relative demonstration. Just as an apple seed encapsulates the DNA of an apple tree, once it is implanted into the soil, if and when it is given proper nourishment, which is water and sunlight, it can only produce an apple tree. It can't produce anything else. So the soil is like the subconscious. It accepts the information that it has been given and produces the relative result. Therefore, when we renew our minds, the only possible outcome is that we are transformed. Sometimes it takes a while to discern what is true, but when our tools and resources change, our understanding, our thoughts, feelings, and belief change. When our understanding changes, our actions and behaviors change. When our actions and behavior changes, our life follows. This principle is universally true and unchangeable. No matter where we travel in the world, no matter what religion we practice, this principle remains the same. And I trust that. I am not unique. I am definitely not unique in this community of spiritual seekers. I was a child who questioned everything, yet simultaneously, I was deeply intuitive, so that when I finally heard truth, it resonated deeply in my soul. When this great alchemy occurred, my questions would cease because I was transformed. Conversely, when the soulful knowing did not occur, the questions would continue and continue and continue to the point of exhaustion for whomever was listening. Usually that was my mother. I was blessed to have parents who allowed me to question. My mother, a trained, certified school teacher, was prepared. She had the stamina and would answer every question that she could possibly answer. However, when she could no longer answer my questions, we would take the trek to 52nd and Locust Street to the free library, and this became a weekly date. This was our weekly date for many years until the home was filled with books and our home was filled with encyclopedias, or until I was old enough to take the trek to the library by myself. The same curiosity challenged my teachers, as you could imagine, and the religious clergy who shaped my early life. Again, I am not unusual. When I asked the rector of my Episcopalian church to explain how it was that Jesus could be both the Son of God and God at the same time, his answer, to say the least, did not resonate in my soul. I can't even remember what he said, but this fact underscores my point. My overarching point is that it didn't resonate, so I didn't think it was the truth. At least, I didn't think it was the complete truth. Religious principles are the breath and blood of our value system. If we do not understand or believe the religion to which we ascribe, who are we? How do we approach other things that we supposedly believe? With confusion, with ambiguity, perhaps even hypocrisy. I always had to understand, have faith was not an acceptable answer for me. See, for me to have faith in God was easy. Evidence of God is everywhere. It's in the sun that keeps time every day and gives us warmth. It is in the moon that lights the night and measures cycles. It is in the cherry blossoms that bloom at the end of winter, giving us just a little tease of spring. It is in the miraculous birth of a child who knows exactly when to be born. I trust God. I could not have faith in a philosophy or ideology that did not resonate deeply in my soul. So for years, I questioned, I studied, I contemplated. I read Buddhism, Ifa, in the tradition of our West African ancestors. I read and practiced Islam and Christian and Islamic metaphysics. In reading Islam, my answer to the question about the Trinity was assuaged. In Islam, God is above creation. He has no equals and therefore no begotten son. I was satisfied with this ideological approach to the extent that I practiced Islam for 10 years. First, I practiced enthusiastically, then I practiced reluctantly. In fact, I studied in earnest to the extent of taking an attribute as my name. So Layla is the female version of Lael, which is the title of the 92nd chapter of the Quran. The name Layla has a variety of meanings, but the most significant meaning can be found in Surah 92, ayat 18 through 21. He who spends his wealth for increase and purification, and have in his mind no favor from anyone for which a reward is expected in return, except only the desire to seek the countenance of the Most High, God surely will be pleased. And so this deeply resonated in my soul, and I became Layla. Islam is imbued with rituals and routines. I'm not a fan of either, rituals or routines. And after a while, I didn't believe that the rituals were leading me closer to the truth. That's for me. That's not for everyone. But I didn't feel as if the rituals and routines were leading me closer to the truth. In fact, at least for me, I believe that the rituals and routines were taking me further and further away from the truth. I believe that religious rituals are significant for several reasons. First, religious rituals assist us in developing discipline. They help to hold us accountable for our daily worship and practice. Religious rituals are a bridge to understanding and knowing God. We can develop a more profound connection with God through rituals. Yet, religious rituals are burdened with challenges too. When we develop a deeper connection to God, we, in a sense, have developed our own religious rituals. In fact, the point of developing a more profound connection to God is to grow to the point where we are mindful that God is always with us, and to trust and act and behave with that knowing. When we evolve to this point, we know that every thought is a prayer. Every thought is a prayer. At this point, our daily activities become our rituals. Saying grace before dinner is a beautiful and effective ritual. Yet when we have evolved to the point where we know that we are one with the one mind, eating itself is the ritual. Praying before sleep is a beautiful and effective ritual. Yet when we have evolved to the point where we know that we are one with the one mind, sleeping itself becomes a ritual. At this point, we would have a moment by moment, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-year ritual practice. At this point, our former religious rituals could feel regressive in some ways, because we would have advanced to a higher level of knowing, a higher level of understanding. Because when our tools and resources change, our understanding, our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs change. I believe that the most insidious challenge of religious rituals is that many religions teach that its rituals are the only or the best way to worship God and to engage in spiritual practice. Each of us must find the tools and resources that facilitate our own personal spiritual growth and development. Each of us must find what makes us grow, what works for us. In the text, A Religion of One's Own, author Thomas More says, "I believe that one day we'll understand that we've lost out on religion because we made it too lofty and distant. I see it as a simple quality of everyday life, and in that simplicity lie its beauty and importance. I believe that religion emerged from every culture in the world as a way of responding to the questions of existence that all humans have. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Why do we suffer? If we live in a climate where we can pick mangoes and coconuts and pineapples and bananas to eat directly from a tree, as opposed to having to trap and kill animals to eat, certainly we will have a different understanding of God. So environment certainly informs our worldview. Environment is a critical component to understanding the ways in which many religions have emerged in our vast and dynamic world. With so many people with such diverse points of view, once these answers are packaged and commodified, we are left with approximately 4,200 religions in the world. 4,200 religions. But when the politics and the cultural norms are stripped away, what is left is the essence, the foundation, the truth. In the New Thought tradition, it is our practice to strip away the politics, the cultural norms, the muddy residue that gets between us and the essence, the foundation, the truth. In Matthew 22, verses 37 to 40, when asked what is the greatest commandment, the master teacher Jesus said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. And the law and the prophets hang on these two.